Yeah, so it's a lot that can happen. And of course, what is the challenge for the companies? The challenge for the company, the previous speech was talking about business innovation model. I represent this in another way, is to understand that it is the right time to move from the incremental growth to the radical growth. And that is one of the most critical issues that companies that they have. They need to understand what is the right time to jump and to always have the ambition to reach new limits. This is one of the critical issues that every company has. I have here with me a possible answer. How can we make sure that the change and the innovation is something that is completely embedded in the top management agenda of the companies? And that is, of course, what is my role about. But it is about the culture. And first of all, you need to change to make sure that you have the right culture in the company. There are companies that they still have a very internal product-oriented company. They have a product orientation inside because they have been successful, they have been inventing something that's extremely great, but they have not understood that that kind of product line was commoditized. So what is the right culture? I think it's very simple. We should not invent anything completely new. The right culture is the customer. And if we always, in our company, we put customer first ahead of us as the main culture. But where we have to put this culture of customer first is in the marketing department, is in the strategy department, is in the top line of the agenda that you can give for granted. This is the right culture that you need to spread all over the company. That's the only way to be successful. And of course, to make it happen, it's important to have huge investments on people. So it is both a top-down, because you need to have the vision at the proper level, you need to have the framework and the processes, you have, of course, to have a kind of charismatic leader that are always preaching the change, which is the top-down. But you also need to change the company culture. You need to have a bottom-up process as well. You need to engage the people, you need to promote ideas and creativity. All of this will, of course, create value for your customer and for the company. I believe that the brand is the common denominator of all of this. When we talk about the people in a company, what matters, what is the most important asset that we have, is the brand. The brand is about the image of the company, it's about the message that the company is bringing forward, but more than this is the promise. We talked about the promise a lot. If a brand does not inspire, does not hold in its asset, in its definition, also the promise, then that brand is not a strong brand. So the strong brand must have all these characteristics. And why a CBO, Chief Brand Officer? This is pretty new. If you go to the net and you see how many CBOs exist in the world, I mean, I have counted 12, 13. I don't know if there is an exhaustive list, but I mean, there are very few. Why a CBO? Is this an innovative and modern answer to all challenges that we have been talking about? How can you make sure that this is very high, top level into the agenda of the company? How can you be sure that in the leadership of the companies, close to the CEO, you have someone that is making sure that everyone plays the same kind of game. Everyone works in the favor of the brand. And this is the Chief Brand Officer. It's an innovative way that works in order to make sure that everyone in the company are not working as a silos, different organization with a lot of sub-brands that are developed into the company, especially in the successful company. Everyone would like to defend their own standing, and that is one of the main threats for the company, that they miss the innovation that way. So the CBO role is very simple. making sure that in the top level agenda of the company, there is only one clear objective, making the brand much stronger. And having a strong brand means to have an innovative company, a company that is always assessing if their strategy is the right one. It's a company that is looking every day to the new business model, every day. How do you do that? So what is the main role to translate this in actions into the company? Well, first of all, you need to have a brand strategy. And the brand strategy must be fulfilling the characteristic that I mentioned before. Must have the right image, the right message, but more than important is the right promise. So a brand strategy must be very looking forward. And then, in a clear brand strategy, you need to teach everyone in the company to live the brand. How can you do that? How can you make sure that everyone in the company live the brand? How can you make sure that everyone in the company become brand ambassador? Brand ambassador is to give the capability to every employee of the company to bring with them the brand experience. And I mean, this is not just a role that can be played by the salesman or the sales force or the marketing department. This is a role that must be played by everyone. Because everyone in the company is exposed to the external stakeholders. So everyone really can bring with them the brand experience. So everyone in the company must become brand ambassador. And then the other part that is extremely important in brand strategy, how you make clear, and you make very clearly visible that the brand stands for the values. What are the values that are in the brand? How can you do that? Well, you need to build a brand architecture. What is a brand architecture, in my view? Is the best possible definition of all the assets of the company, of all the value proposition, of all the segments, all the market segments that the company is exposed and involved in. And it is a layer that is supporting the brand independently on the organization that you have done. Because the organization that you have done can change over time, while the brand strategy and the definition of the brand characteristics, they stay much longer. A compelling brand strategy is a strategy that takes inside the promise that should be at least 10 years looking forward. And how can you survive in a company with an organization that stays the same for 10 years? It's impossible. So you need to build this layer, the brand architecture, as a layer that is really making sure that you are consistent, because one of the main characteristics of a brand is the consistency. And you can build this consistency only in this way. So, this is a possible answer. It's a possible answer to one of the main challenges that we are at the moment having in many companies, because we have this great opportunity. And, this challenge, it's about making sure that everyone in the company, all people that are part of the company, they understand what is the importance of their role. And back to this definition of marketing. The reason why I love this definition is because every word in this definition is exactly as important as the total of the definition. Marketing is an art. And, you need, if you want to be an artist, you need to bring the passion. And you need charismatic leaders to also exploit the passion in everything that is done by the people. And, of course, you need to make sure that whatever you do it profitably, because the profit is, at the end of the day, the first objective in front of our shareholder in a company. You need to be successful, which means that you need to have all the delivery capability, you need to have all the quality in place in order to make sure that this is successful. And, of course, you need to have a superior value proposition. Why superior? Because, we live in in a world where there is a lot of competition. We need to be better than our competitor. We need to accept the challenge every day, work around and see what our competitors are doing and be better than them. And that is, of course, the best possible guarantee that you will assess your business model, you will assess if you are differentiated enough from the others. If you are not, you need to escape, you have to invent something completely new. So this is the best possible definition, and with this definition, you go around in the company. What is the role of the marketeers in a company? For me, the role of the marketeer to make this very clear and simple for everyone in the company. It's very simple to explain that this is marketing. It's very simple to explain that no one in the company can say, okay, this is not my job, this is marketing job. Marketing is the role that everyone should play. The marketeers in the company, they are the experts, they know the tools, they know the processes, and they know the capability, but they need to become the ambassadors, the ones that are going around and spreading this kind of knowledge into the company. My friend, it's all about people. If we do this right, if we do this with the right approach, then company can be successful. And of course, at the end of the day, we all say it's about the people. It's about the people to have charismatic leaders that are able to convey the message to the people of the company and to make every day of their day, their working day, you know, a new day where they can contribute positively to the success of the company. Thank you.